Hey everyone, and welcome to Stardust Astro. Today we'll be photographing the conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn. As you guys already know, our cities provide us with lots of comfort, but I really think that they have detached us from the night sky and the wonders of our universe. So to capture them, Jupiter and Saturn, we'll be going to an Airbnb farm which I rented approximately 2 hours away from Delhi. It's a very favorite place of mine where I go regularly to capture because it's really secluded and you can actually see the Milky Way with your own eyes and thousands of stars in the night. I think it's a great way for us to rekindle our awe for the universe and the night sky, taking the whole family along and actually try some astrophotography. I've been doing this for the last couple of years and would really love to show you how the whole thing happens. So let's see. So this is my setup for tonight. It's an 8-inch Newtonian telescope mounted on an automatic mount which actually tracks my target across the night so that I never lose sight of it. Actually, you can use a DSLR camera to photograph in place of this camera. It can actually capture faintest details of the objects like galaxies, nebulas or planets like we want today, and produce the lowest amount of noise because it can be cooled to -30 degrees Celsius. So we are going to use a specifically designed astronomy camera for this purpose. Now to actually get into astronomy, you just need a tripod, a DSLR or maybe even a Dobsonian telescope. But to actually get the faintest details of any kind of object like a nebula or a galaxy or pictures like these, you need to have a trackable mount and a very nice astronomical camera to capture all the details in its glory. So that's why a mount like this is so important. It actually tracks the target throughout the night sky while we are photographing it. It enables us to create multiple exposures and long exposures of the target, which can go even up to 10 minutes at a time. So that allows us to capture the faintest details of any object that we want to photograph in the sky. As you can see, everything's set up with all the cables and everything properly plugged in. So the kids are really excited to see Jupiter and Saturn for the first time together in a single frame. They actually coincide every 20 years or so, but the last time it happened was 400 years back. And that was not even possible to see because it was very close to the sun. And when it was possible to see was 800 years back. So literally it's a once in a lifetime shot. So finally, here's Jupiter and Saturn in the same frame. Let's have a look at the computer for a better view. So this is the camera feed we are getting, which is attached to the telescope, and I'm using this software to capture the images, and this is a live view of what the telescope is seeing right now. So here's Jupiter on the left and Saturn on the right. This has never happened in my since a couple of years I've been doing this, that they are in the same frame at this magnification. So it's really special. Now it's a little bright, Jupiter, right now because I have bumped up the gain and exposure of the image so that we are able to see the rings of the Saturn as well. Now Saturn is quite dimmer in the sky because it's further away than Jupiter. So that's why, in order to show you guys both at the same time, I have to, bump up the gain and exposure settings of the camera. So what we're going to do is we're going to capture Jupiter separately and then capture Saturn separately at their appropriate gains and camera settings so that we can get the best details out of each and then create the composite video according to exactly how much distant they are to in respect to each other, and create the final image. Also, we'll be playing around with the gain and exposure to reveal the moons of both the planets. So let's get started. As you can easily see right here is the Jupiter. Just beside it is Saturn, but it's a little lighter because Saturn is obviously a little far away from us than Jupiter. Now Jupiter actually has 78 moons, or it might be more. We just keep discovering them. So it's surrounded by it. We can't see them right now, so I'll just bump up the exposure so that we can see some of the moons. 1 second. So we'll bump up the exposure. It's not getting revealed. We'll bump up the exposure even further. And here we go. We have stars. Now we can see the actual moons of Jupiter. These might be Ganymede, Io. So we actually need to check with the map which one is which. But we can see prominently 5 to 6 moons of Jupiter. Looks like a couple of them are behind it. So now we can't image Jupiter like this because it's too bright. So what we do is take a exposure which is very high so that the moons get revealed, and a low exposure so that Jupiter gets revealed with details, and then kind of composite the two images like an HDR and get a nice little image of Jupiter along with its moons. So why Jupiter and Saturn don't look that great and detailed right now is because of the Earth's atmospheric distortion. So this is true for every telescope on the planet. So atmosphere is really good for breathing, but not that good for astronomy. So what we are going to do is take 5,000 frames of what we see on the computer right now and stack them together, because each frame has a different kind of information in their pixels based on the atmospheric condition on that exact moment. That's how all telescopes which are ground based does it in the world, whether it's NASA, ISRO or any kind of space agency. So let's hit the button and take our shots. The imaging is done, but we won't be able to see the result right away because it takes a lot of time to process those images that we took. But you will be able to see the image at the end of the video. All I can say that it was a very special night where I was able to capture this rare event which happened the last time when Galileo was alive. I can only think how much he would have loved to actually see this event from his own eyes, and how we are able to now capture these images based on the hard work of all the people that have come before us. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe to the video for more contents like imaging of galaxies and nebulas and some cool visualizations of the universe. I started this YouTube channel for creating awareness of astrophotography, and especially among our Indian kids who really need an outlet for their interest in the cosmos. So till next time, clear skies, and do remember, we are the eyes of our universe.